Hey everybody! Welcome to another stream. A zero stream. Let me get our music playing. Hopefully you can hear that. Alright. Okay. I didn't plan to have this be the first song. I just pressed shuffle all, but I think this is a... Is this a PMD song? If not, then it's at least a Pokemon song because I can tell from the thumbnail. In any case. Hi guys! It's good to have you around. Sorry about the last two streams. So... The Majora's Mask stream kind of ended abruptly. Sorry to everyone who was there. I actually had to, like, restart the game, basically, because my computer just completely crashed. It didn't, like, turn off. The light was still on, so the power was still going. But it just, like, went black. You know, couldn't do anything. Couldn't even turn it off, so I had to, like, press the button and hard shut off. And then last week I couldn't stream because I was literally stuck at work. One of the printers decided to break down and not do what it's supposed to, as printers do. So I was there quite late and didn't get back in time to start the stream. I decided I kind of wanted to have dinner. But yeah, we're back. It's a new month. Welcome to November, and it's good to see y'all. Pokemon Master Wheeler is here in the chat, as always. Hi! Thanks for always being here bright and early. I mean, it's nighttime, but whatever. And, hi, Ashtray the Cool. Ashtray says, hey, I just wanted to say that I read the new update of Jet's Black Nuzlocke, started reading your comic around the beginning of lockdown, and it gave me something to be excited about and enjoy in a bit of boring time, so thank you. Oh, well, thank you so much for coming by and telling me. It's so nice to, like, hear from new readers and any readers, really, like, just hear you guys' thoughts, and your encouragement means a lot. It really is the comments that, like, keep me going with this comic project. Ash says, sorry, I forgot to say that I liked the new episode. No worries, man. Like, shoot, like, thanks for reading. And, yeah, I'm glad you liked the episode. It was a shorter episode, but, I worked hard on it, and I'm proud of it. Wheeler says, how about your PMD song? Oh gosh, Wheeler, you're so kind. One of the printers broke down, and it made me break down. Yep, couldn't continue. Ash Trey says, Lil Dog legit made me love Pat Rats. Awesome! I love whenever someone comes up to me and says, hey, I didn't like Pat Rats before, but after reading your comic, Pat Rats and Watch Dogs, basically, and it's like, now Fire Dog's like my favorite. I'm just like, yes! I love rats. It's like kind of a thing that I tried to brand myself with after I got obsessed with them some years ago, and I don't have my rat cam on today, unfortunately. Sadly enough. Rat cam is off because I took down the camera and stuff for October so I could do that one watercolor for fun. And I just haven't set it back up yet. I'm pretty tired today, so I figure I'd forego that. Plus, the lazy boys are never out when I'm streaming. Very rude of them. Wheeler says, sorry, Zero, you make me like Pat Rats, but Ellie made me love Pat Rats. Ellie definitely has a much more kawaii type of style for them, and I'm glad that she's also hyping up the Pat Rat train. As far as I know, what's it called? For What It's Worth, Rat Rascal's Nuzlocke comic. It just started. But it's very cute. It's got a very good art style, and I think is the only other comic I can think of that really just hypes up the how cute Pat Rats can be. Like, seriously, people legit just didn't like Pat Rats before, and I'm like, I guess, like, they're not the cutest thing when you look at their official design, but they're not the worst either. I like them enough, and then, like, you know, drawing them a little differently here and there makes them cuter. I'm sure Ellie was huge into rats before. Her name is literally Rat Rascal, but I'm just gonna pretend that I had a part to play in the birth of the For What It's Worth Pat Rat love. Oh, hi! Salt and Pepper Bunny is here! Thanks for coming! It's so good to have friends hanging out on the stream. And Wheeler says, that's just because you didn't read Between Truth and Ideals yet. That's right! Wheeler has so many comics, I am slowly working my way through the Wheelerverse. But yes, Hazel is an entire being. Alright, so Ashtray the Cool says, what's your favorite Nuzlocke comic to read? I'll try and remember to check out the Rat Rascal one. It sounds cool. Yeah, it's called, For What It's Worth. It's just started. I think there's only 3 or 4 updates, and they're long updates, so check it out. I'll think about the favorite comic, but let's get started on the drawing for today. So, we got some bugs here, a couple of stinky bugs. So definitely not my favorite Pokemon, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's see what Volbeat's all about. In Japanese, Barubito. Barubito. Sounds kind of like Volbeat. It kind of sounds like Beetle at the end there. But, I think this is one of the only ones. Let me see. Generally, Pokemon that don't evolve into each other aren't put into one family. Looks like the internet's gonna not work. So let's just stick on this page then. But I think Bulbapedia, here it is, does list them in one family. I'm not sure, but I think so. Yes. So, like, Plusle and Minun are 2 different families. You got the Plusle family and the Minun family because they don't evolve into each other, but for some reason the Volbeat and Illumise family do. I don't know why. Maybe they hatch from the same parents or something? I don't know. I don't know what the deal with Volbeat and Illumise are because I never use them or pay attention to them. But let's see if Bulbapedia will inform us. Volbeat is gender ratio 100% male. So I assume, yes, 100% female. So I've never seen it happen where, like, you have an egg, and if it's a male, then it hatches into one, if it's a female, it hatches in the other, but maybe that's the case? I don't know too much about the gender ratio. Prankster! Okay, well, it's a pretty big bug, 2 feet tall. Volbeat. Okay, let's read its biology. So if you're new to the streams, for the Pokemon families, I like to draw all the members of the family in one illustration. But before I do so, I read the Bulbapedia article to get some inspiration. Because sometimes I learn something I didn't know about the species and it informs the drawing. Volbeat is a firefly-like bipedal Pokemon. Its body is black with a blue crest and abdomen. There are 2 yellow stripes across its front, one on its chest and one near its legs. A red band separates each limb from its body, and a thicker, incomplete one surrounds its shoulders. Two simple wings extend from the band across its shoulder. It has a blue face with yellow eyes and curly yellow antennae with black stripes. It has a spherical yellow tail, which glows to communicate and draw geometric patterns in the sky while in a swarm. Additionally, the glow allows it to use its former signature move, tail glow, and signal beam. This is a male-only species. Illumise is its female counterpart. Volbeat is attracted by the sweet aroma given off by Illumise. It lives in forests near clean ponds, but will move if the pond becomes dirty. Dirty. Oh, his stinky face. With the arrival of night, Volbeat emits light from its tail. It communicates with others by adjusting the intensity and flashing of its light. This Pokemon is attracted by the sweet aroma of Illumise. Volbeat's tail glows like a light bulb. With other Volbeat, it uses its tail to draw geometric shapes in the night sky. This Pokemon loves the sweet aroma given off by... Is it Illumise or is it Illumise? Wheeler says Zero's favorite comic is Across the Divide. It's tough between Across the Divide and Golden Sun for the Wheelerverse. I got an Illumise in Emerald, and I was so mad I didn't get a Volbeat instead, because I think you can trade one for a Plusle. Can you trade the Illumise for a Minun? Volbeat, the Chad attracting them Illumise. Apparently the Illumise are attracting the Volbeat, though. Communicates by blah, 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 blah. Yeah, sometimes I like to check out the dex entries too because they might sneak in something that didn't make it into the biology, but I don't see anything here. Alright. Let me look at its back real quick. It says the wings come from the band on its shoulder, but this one looks like it's just kind of on its back. Excuse me. It's kind of cute in this one, I have to admit. Its little Teletubby body is kind of cute. I don't like its nose. It's got like this weirdly man-shaped face structure. Coloring suggests it may have been based on the subfamily Siphonocerinae. Its appearance is based on a greaser. Zoku. Greasers usually wore black or brown, Y-collared trench coats and or jackets with undershirts and also heavily greased hair. This is just Grease the musical, but with Volbeat. It doesn't exist in Cantonese. Why do you have this? Okay. I'm gonna take a screenshot of Volbeat. As I'm reading these entries, guys, if you get an idea of what might make a fun illustration for them, let me know and I might try it out. I'm gonna keep saying Illumise because that's just how I've always read it, but Illumise is a firefly-like bipedal Pokemon. It has a blue face and large slanted blue eyes with purple markings at its corners. Surrounding its head are purple curls that frame its face. Its antennae are small and yellow. Its body is black with a blue belly and a yellow bid marking. Oh, okay. I literally have never seen that before until it mentioned it. I'm glad it said it was like a baby's bib and not like, you know. Its arms and legs are black and are connected to the body by purple borders. It has small wings used for flying with others, and a pattern of 3 oblong yellow spots on its rear. Ew! What? This is a female-only species. Volbeat is its male counterpart. Illumise uses its sweet aromas to lure in Volbeat and have them draw geometric patterns in the sky. Wait, the Illumise, like, direct the Volbeat to draw the patterns? It doesn't do them itself? It is said to earn respect from others by composing designs that are more complex. Over 200 different patterns have been discovered. It is a nocturnal Pokemon that lives in forests. Okay, so they attract swarms using sweet fragrance. Once they've gathered, the Pokemon leads the lit up swarm in drawing geometric designs on the canvas of the night sky. It's said to earn greater respect from its peers by composing more complex designs. A nocturnal Pokemon that becomes active upon nightfall. It leads a Volbeat swarm to draw patterns in the night sky. Over 200 different patterns have been confirmed. There are scientists that study the patterns it creates. I wonder if that's an episode in the anime. Okay, I think all of the rest are the same. Let's look at its bottom, because apparently it has like 3 dots on it. Oh my goodness, it really does. Huh. I don't mind the shiny for this one. They're like really just right there down on its butt, aren't they? Just take a... Oh, this one's better. Do 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 do. Illumise may be based on flappers, a 1920s woman's style. They usually have bobbed hair, like Illumise's purple hair, and wore taboo dresses and outfits. Illumise seems to be wearing a leotard, black jacket, coat, or dress, similar to Volbeat's, with purple arms and leg cuffs. The yellow bow-like shape under its neck is reminiscent to that of a yellow Peter Pan collar, and the stripes on its abdomen resemble a girdle. Alright, well, let's take a picture of this. I don't think I've ever drawn these Pokemon before. Oh, so I've opened this up so I can just use the file and not have to recreate it. Let's do a save. 26. Man, I really need to jump back onto posting Pokemon families. I kind of fell off of it when DeviantArt turned into Eclipse. Oh, I can actually open them here in my sub view. How do I... There it is. Okay, so 3 screenshots. And it's time to jump into it. Let's catch up with the chat real fast. Ashtray says, oh man, Illumise the Chatette Tails is here. Yo, gonna be watching on mute while I read. All right. Hoi, Tails. Thanks for dropping by. Ashtray says maybe the Volbeat could look sort of cocky, like Gaston from Disney. That's a good idea, yeah. It's like kind of flexing, showing off. Wheeler says, Hoi, Tails, and I believe the anime says you're right with the pronunciation. Oh, awesome, okay. It's the way that I always read it in my head, but when you say Illumise like over and over and over again, not only does it have that like, it doesn't sound like a word anymore kind of feel, but also it feels kind of pretentious pronouncing something like that. I saw a TikTok the other day that was like bilingual problems, and one of it was like how pronouncing things correctly while you're speaking a different language can feel weird. And I get that so much with like Chinese. Like the way you say tofu in Chinese, it's pronounced dofu or something like that. My Chinese is terrible, but it's like with a D. It's like dofu. I don't know why. And then when it's translated, it's tofu. And like I would never pronounce it the way it's supposed to when I'm saying it in English. Like I'm talking English, and I'm not just gonna randomly like have the other word. Which always felt weird to me as a kid because my name was in Chinese. And if you don't know, in Chinese, like the way you pronounce a word is important. It like changes the meaning if you don't pronounce it in a specific way. So that just felt really weird to me as a kid, having to like, hey, my name is, and then like say it in Chinese. Like there has to be this switch in my brain. Yeah, any like bilingual speakers out there, you get this in your language? I would imagine it's a pretty pretty universal feel. Or are you like a stickler to like pronouncing things? I think I have a friend who calls anime anime because that's how the Japanese say it. And it just sounds strange to my like ears, but you know, you get used to pronouncing something a certain way, and you try to stick with it. Dofu. Dofu. Admittedly don't 100% get what you mean. Like, let me try and think of a more common example. Like, Let me think of a word that's like... Try to pronounce it properly, but I grew up speaking Spanglish. I can't even really remember the example that was in the video. Gotta go to bed now. It's really late over here in the UK, but I hope you have a fun time drawing. Thanks for coming by, Ashtray. Have a good night, and I hope to see you around. Thanks again for reading. Javier's here. Greetings. Can we all get a sick Volbeat? I don't know how to... I can do the boots and cats and boots and cats. I can't... I don't know how to Volbeat box. Alright. So, let me see if I can... just kind of draw... it down, just so I can understand its... anatomy real quick. Someone with Spanish as his native language, I have some problems regarding accents. It's like, Yeah, I can't really think of an example. Anyway. there's just like a certain specific way to pronounce words in that language. And the video was like, when I'm speaking that language and I say like an English word, it's like weird to say it in English accent too. And I don't get as much, I don't think. Or maybe like if you're speaking Japanese and like, you know how the Japanese have like the English words, but they pronounce it in Japanese? Like, it's the same word. But for some reason, it just makes more sense to pronounce it that way. Pronunciation is key for a language. It is for a lot of languages. But a lot of languages also, it doesn't matter as much. Like with English, you can mispronounce words and people will still get you. It's kind of where accents kind of fall for me. Like with English, there's so many different accents, but you can still understand because even if you pronounce a word like super differently, you can kind of tell what word it is. Alright, well that's a Volbeat. I made its eyes really big so that it's like cute, but like look how beady its eyes are. Alright, let's try the Illumise. But hey, I like updated my comic yesterday. Yesterday? What's today? Today's the 2nd. So yesterday, yeah. And it took like all day to update. I'm so like why? I was going to have to like drive to work to update on DeviantArt, but then a friend of mine said he could like help me from his computer. So like I got a new computer. It's a Windows laptop, and it still doesn't let me log into DeviantArt and stuff. So I'm thinking like, yeah, it's like something with our Wi-Fi, I guess. So all the computers hooked to it aren't letting me. But if I go to work, the computer's there, whether they're Mac or not. In fact, I could take my same laptop and be able to connect there. It's such a strange situation. I wish they would fix it. But I'm quite happy with how it turned out. It was definitely a shorter episode, but like, cityscapes used to always scare me so much, and now it's kind of like I'm focusing on other stuff, like making it feel populated and like getting the feel, the culture of the town. Like I hope it came across, but I wanted to make it feel like the like there were no Pokemon around. Like you had, I added some Pydos because it's a city and you're gonna have like wildlife anywhere you go. But like no actual Pokemon unless they were actually battling. Which made cameoing a little more difficult. But I snuck some fun ones in there. Ah, the face is weird. Uh-oh. Well, it doesn't really matter so much because I'm just kind of trying out the anatomy, but yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't like these Pokemon very much. Their bodies are cute, but there's something about their faces. Do 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 do. Oh, and this is the first time, the first episode I get to update on Tapas. So I update my comic in several different places. I got my website, which I just kind of, it's I pay for the domain and hosting, so it's like my own little corner of the internet that I posted on. And I got DeviantArt, which is a bit of a hassle, but that's good old DeviantArt, always there. And then I started posting on Webtoons and Tapas. Is it Tapas or Tapatalk? I think it's Tapas. And since I started posting on them pretty late, like maybe early last year, I've actually just been posting backlog. So like once a week, a new episode would go up. And so the readers on those websites are pretty spoiled. they're pretty spoiled. Like I went back to update, and one of them's like, "Hey, you good? You still alive?" Even though the description was like, I'll be like posting once every 2 months. I let them know. But Tapas, I finally caught up on the queue. So as I finish the comics, they'll be going up on that website now too. Alright, so about the language, John says, I was writing a story about a violet dragon that takes place in Japan. So I looked up the word for violet in Japanese, and it said it was Bioreto. It took me a bit to realize it was just how they pronounce the English word violet. It's actually... It's weird, because it is technically just how they pronounce the English word, but it's more than that. It's like a step further. It's actually a Japanese word now. That's what the 3 Japanese languages, like the written languages, are: the katakana, the hiragana, and the kanji. I think kanji is just Chinese characters, and then it's always between katakana and hiragana that I can't keep straight which one is which. But one of them is like the Japanese language, words like sakura, where they use an alphabet of Japanese characters. And then you have the other one, which is specifically for English, or shall I say English words. So like when you eat a pudding in English, in Japanese they call it pudding. Purin. That's not just a butchering of the pronunciation of pudding. It's like its own word. This is a different word now that they would consider. We have it too in Chinese. I don't think there's like a word for it, but like when you translate words into Chinese, especially names, they do it very deliberately, because every Chinese word is a character. There's no alphabet that you can rearrange. The one that I always find strange is the name John is translated to Yue Han. That's just how they say. It's not like they can't pronounce John. It's just if your name is John in Chinese, your name is Yue Han, and that's your name. Javier says every language has a unique feature. Spanish has more rhythm, create better lyrics. As for French, is more formal and professional, hence why it's used for important UN documents. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that. Okay. Little flapper, greaser. Grease. Oh, Hollow Knight. What if I did these guys like Hollow Knight bugs? I like Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight's a fun game. I don't understand the design language of Hollow Knight though. Like I get it in that if I look at it, I'm like, nice. I see the like that it is from the same game, but like they're so varied that I wouldn't be able to tell you how to translate something else into they're so stylized. It really takes that person's brain. Pepper is into it. Zeros, that sounds lit. Alright, well, I could try. Javier says Spanish and Latin American regions can be quite complicated, as some words can mean completely different things on in different countries. Interesting. Like the same word. I wonder if that. I guess that's kind of how it works with British English and American English, and I see it more as, is it dialect or where they'll take something and then like it means something different. Again, I'm trying to think of an example and it's not coming to me. Like my brain doesn't work super well all the time. Okay, so I don't think I'll base it on the knights because they're kind of hollow. But if I recall, Quirrell kind of looks like this. He has like segments. He has hands and arms that are like very... He has a very big hands. I don't remember how his legs look. I think he wears a sword. Oh, I'm sorry, a nail. And then there's some more complex ones. So let me take a look. If someone tries to use vosotros, I disregard them entirely. Really? Is it like rude? Or is it like Spanish? Let's see. Hollow Knight. Design? I want to find a bug without a mask on. Bug design. These things like fan designs. Fan designs can be helpful. Aw, this one's cute. Look at this little ladybug. It's basically y'all, but they only use it if they're from Spain or if they're being ironic. Y'all. Okay. Let's start with Illumise. Let me see what we got. Oh, when Tail said she was reading earlier, does that mean she's reading the Be More Chill fanfic? You think? So like me and Pepper and Tails have started this book club because some time ago Salt and Pepper Bunny got me into this new musical. Well, it's not new. It's been around, but like it's new to me. Called Be More Chill. It's a great musical. You guys should check it out. Unfortunately, bootlegs are pretty much the only avenue to view it right now. But the soundtrack is great. Look up the soundtrack. I prefer the off-Broadway, personally. Something like that. But yeah, it's pretty great. And Pepper was like, there's this fanfic written by Yellow Caballero that's really good, and it's like a alternate universe fanfic, so it's basically like a standalone fic. And I've never read fan fiction in my life. Like maybe there's a fanfic that I might have read at some point by accident in my life that I've forgotten about, but as far as I can tell in this moment, never have I ever read fan fiction. But this is like Pepper's favorite fanfiction, and then she commissioned me to draw a cover for it, and so, you know, we can print it like a book. And I was like, can I well she offered, I think, but I kind of like was curious. And besides, even if I didn't like it, it's cool to have like a printed book with a cover that you've done on it, you know? Like, it's just neat to have on the shelf. So I was like, wow, okay, yeah. And I'm on chapter 2 now. I think I just finished chapter 2. Yeah, chapter 2 is way shorter than chapter 1. But man, the writing is pretty good. But like, it's very different from the original. So okay, so I guess the question is, do I want the horns to be kind of like, I was trying to mimic the ghost's horns with how it's like stuck onto the carapace, but do I want like actual antenna coming out? Trying to decide what to do with this part. Is she wearing armor because of all of these, like, what do they call them? Segments? Maybe she's like... Okay, I need to look up Hollow Knight fashion? What are the fancy folk wearing? Let me see. How Hollow Knight. What are they called? What are the red bugs called? Enemies. The like aristocrat enemy type. I guess my question is anyone wearing a bow? Does anyone wear? Okay, they have little like brooches. But they're called dandies. There's the husk dandy. Is there another dandy? Let me see. Oh no, there's not another dandy. Are they all called husks? Husk. Okay, husk dandy is the one that like swipes at you. The other ones aren't here. I think there's one that's called like... Oh, there's a cowardly husk. That's the one that runs from you. Okay, so they're all called husks. Okay, so the husks were what I was thinking of, but they don't wear any bows. Rodolfo is here. Says, you like Bluey? I love Bluey. Look at this. Look at this tired bingo face. Look at her. She's so tired trying to get her cereal. I love Tails. It's like I glanced over to see Pokemon and instead find Hollow Knight designs. Tails, can you tell what I'm doing? I'm trying to make them into Hollow Knight. To give a PG example of this, particularly in Spanish, the word pedo means fart in some places and drunkard in others. And different countries have different slangs for the same word. In Peru, we call a job camba, while in Argentina, they call it laburo. Pega. HK means Hong Kong. Trying to make them into HK, yeah, that checks. It was a fun design challenge idea, but I'm not sure if I understand Hollow Knight's design aesthetic well enough to pull it off. If anything, it's just something that I wanted to try and I might scrap and do something else. I could make it more like the, you know, the Hollow Knights have those kind of tendril things. Can maybe try to make it like that. Wait, let me see. Okay, the Carver Hatcher has wings that are actual wings. The Battle Obel has wings too, and the Aspids all have wings. Okay, all right. I'll give them I'll give her wing. Maybe like that. Should she be wearing more? It's something like that, maybe. I don't know if this should come in front of her face. I'll decide that later. Okay, what do I do with Volbeat? Let me see. What do I do with you, buddy? Buddy! You're kind of like a maggot. Maybe make its proboscis a little bigger. Should he be a mossy? He could be a mosskin. Those are fluffy. Like that. Rat Rascal is here! Says hi hi! Tails is like, I'm gonna go back to reading fanfiction now. All good, Tails. All good. Rodolfo says, I'm working... today I've been researching about game balancing. I'm working on a card game, and it's almost ready and fun to play, but there's a great imbalance with 3 to 5 players being on teams of 1 vs 2 or 2 vs 3. Javier says, hi, Rat Rascal. Yeah, no, I love Bluey. Bluey's a great cartoon. My friend got into it first, and it's so funny because it's like our little thing where we like watch it together. The new season, or rather the second part of the season 2 is coming out. What do I want to do with this? Yeah, but I'm still currently trying to catch up, like finish season 1 actually, part 2. Uh but season 2 part 2 has been really cool. I don't know why they don't just call them like separate seasons, because the way they structure them really feels like separate seasons. At the end of part 1, um they had like sort of a finale, and then sort of a return episode that was like a little cool, like an additional little thing for part 2. So yeah, it feels like a premiere and a finale at the end of each part. I don't know any other shows that does that. Woo, okay. Maybe there's like Luma flies around his tail or whatever. I probably won't include those. I don't like to include other things in these. I don't know. I don't know how much it how very Hollow Knight that looks. Hmm. This one looks very Hollow Knight to me. I could see this design in the sequel, I think. In fact, I think I've seen it. This like mushroom head. Why isn't it closed? Where is the line? But yeah, Be More Chill is pretty cool. I love the soundtrack. I got there's a song called Halloween Party, I think, because like Act 2 of Be More Chill kind of takes place at this Halloween party. Like the whole thing is just the party. So they open with this number, and like 2 nights ago, it being Halloween, I'm just like, it's Halloween, dun dun dun, it's Halloween. um Speaking of, you guys do anything for Halloween? Watch any movies? Play any games? Did anyone dress up anyways, just for the fun of it? Uh, it felt very much not like Halloween this year. Because usually I'm at school, I see people dressed up, I give out candy. But this year, you know, it's just kind of another day until that night when we started watching Halloween movies, and my friend Tails streamed uh spooky game, FNAF, I think. Pepper, what do you think, if you're still around? This design doesn't feel very Hollow Knight to me, but I can't tell why. Like, what about it? I'm gonna look through the list again. Like, tell me if you agree. This one feels a lot more Hollow Knight than this one. Maybe it's the nose? Looks like Quilladin. Oh, it kind of does. I'm trying to figure out how I would translate this, like, scruff around him, because I can also see it being like a Mosskin. You know, the Mosskin babies have that sort of foliage around them. Okay, let's see. Someone mentioned Gaston. Now, Volbeat doesn't give off very much Gaston vibes to me. I don't know if he shoots like Gaston or makes those beats like Gaston. I don't know if every bug in town wants to be like Gaston. But I can have him deadlift a bench with a flapper chick on it. Okay, this composition sucks though. Because then it leaves all this here and all this here, and I do not want to draw an entire bar. Let's see. Speaking of musicals, I gave Hadestown another listen today. And man, I've listened to like 3 different versions of this musical. For those of you not in the know, Hadestown is like a as Shay Frelish calls it, a depression era Greek myth, something. I watched his video like later today before work ended. It's basically what I did at work today. Was listen to the musical and then I watched his video on it. Which, by the way, Pepper, not saying he's like any kind of authority, but he also kind of implied that the epics were, if not the song, at least related to the song that was being composed that wasn't finished. So I'm at least not the only one who like got that impression. The Hadestown is about like the story of Orpheus and Eurydice. It's the Greek myth where he like goes to Hades to get his girlfriend back because she died. Apparently in the original, she just gets bitten by a snake and dies. And he has to go get her back, and so he's like told, you can take her, but you just can't turn around and look. And he does, and she goes bye-bye, and sad things. But they turned it into a musical, and it's really good. It's a completely sung through musical. So if you guys listen to the soundtrack, I really like the Broadway version, but like I said, there's like 3 different versions out there. And they're all different for some reason. I tried the off-Broadway version first, and then the concept album is what I found out it is. And then I tried the Broadway, and I quite like the Broadway one. So if you listen to the Broadway one, you'll get the whole story, because they sing everything. You can't... I didn't catch it all the first time. But on this second listen, I'm almost embarrassed I didn't catch it all the first time, because it's so very incredibly clear. I don't know what I want to show her butt because she got the dots, but I also want to show her face. So now I'm doing that thing they do in comic books where they like twist the ladies so you can see their like chest and their butt for no reason. Let's see. Javier says, at Halloween I hanged out with some friends at the mall, ate some sweets, caught up. We haven't seen each other since the pandemic, and it was a bittersweet experience. Oh, that's so nice. Bunny says, everyone I know. Man, I'm so sad I haven't seen any friends since the pandemic started. Me, casually seeing all my friends several times a week. You what? You definitely gotta stay safe out there, though. Pepper says, I'd have to listen to it again, haha. Or ask my friend who's an expert on the musical. Ooh. I love having friends who have been into things longer than you and are like experts on it, and you can just like go talk to them about stuff and like bring your scrub lord theories and such and see what they think. Okay, this doesn't really make sense because why would you need a conductor for just one instrument? But Illumise is supposed to be like the conductor and of like a bunch of Volbeat. I can't draw more than one Volbeat for these because it's like an arbitrary rule I came up with for myself, so probably not going to do this one. Okay. Okay, what if Volbeat, right? Pepper says, me too, though I'm usually the friend who ends up being the expert, that hyperfixation mood. Drawing them doing the balcony scenes from Romeo and Juliet. Oh, that could be fun. Except Volbeat is also serenading her with a violin. Man. Okay, let me scratch out this idea I had because I'm thinking like, what if he's like at a diner or something, and then she's like the waitress. It's like, you need another coffee, dear? He's like, Actually, I probably don't want to draw an entire diner scene. Romeo and Juliet. That's another musical, West Side Story. One that I know 2 songs from. One is the Jets song, and the other is the America song. I know 3 songs, and then there's the I Feel Pretty song. This could be a fun little scene, but I like making Volbeat's eyes small, and they just keep getting smaller and smaller. It was like a Romeo and Juliet scene, but Juliet doesn't want, doesn't like Romeo, and he's just like, "Aw, I came to like serenade you and everything." I'm much more into that Cricketune guy. He plays the music I like. It's a shame I didn't know about the anime episode with Nidorans being Romeo and Juliet, because I totally would have done like an entire Romeo and Juliet scene with the Nidoran family as the cast. Just like the 2 Nidorans dead, the Capulets and Montagues all like, oh, how could this be? I don't know what balconies look like. Jesse and James! No, Jesse and James deserve better. I can't do the balcony scene in that angle. Okay. I kind of want to go back to the diner scene, but I'm gonna have them like not facing each other this time. So let's put in the little... I might have to look up what a diner chair looks like. Okay, and after the FNAF stream on Saturday that I went to, Tails' FNAF stream, they're like, you should play FNAF, and I'm like, I should not play scary games, thank you. But it did make me want to watch FNAF streams after that. I had always found FNAF to be quite a boring looking game. Because whenever I would watch clips of it in like video analysis or whatever, it just seemed like people were clicking buttons and flipping cameras, and because I could never tell what was happening on the cameras, that kind of just didn't, that just was nothing to me. Okay, I don't like this at all. I'm gonna restart. Let's start with the bug this time instead of the table. I don't know. Let me look at what a diner chair looks like. Sorry guys, I'm just like so distracted right now. Diner chair. I have so many games I just want to play. So next month is December. And if you guys were around last December, you'll know I played my favorite game of all time, Banjo-Kazooie, for the month of December. Just sort of like a, it was a continuation of, the last year, during which I played, Undertale in December. And then I was like, maybe I can make this a thing where I just like play video games in December instead of do art. Just like, it's the end of the year, it's, winter break is coming up, but we might as well just like, have some fun or whatever. So I was thinking this year in December, I'll play the sequel, Banjo-Tooie. Unfortunately, Banjo-Tooie is a lot larger of a game than Kazooie. So I'm a little worried about finishing it all in 1 month because, you know, it's not 1 month, it's like 4 streams because I only stream like once a week, 4 or 5 streams. So what I could either do is let it cut into November. Start the Banjo-Kazooie streams early. Or I could stream past December into January and just keep going until I finish the streams. However long that takes. Or I can try, if it's possible, to stream more than once a week for those. I've never done more than 1 stream a week. So I don't know how that would feel. Oh no! It looks like that guy from Wind Waker that like sells you the sail. Be shy. Okay guys, so like I hadn't played Animal Crossing in ages, and then on Halloween I was like, oh, there's a Halloween thing, of course I should play. But then I was like, oh no, I don't have any candy. And also, oh no, it's like 5 minutes to midnight. So I just said hi to Jack, gave him the candy that one of my neighbors like charitably gave me. as I was running around, and he gave me his head, and that was it. That was all the time I had. The stores were all closed. There was no mushrooms on the ground or anything, so I just closed it. Haven't played Animal Crossing in a long time. Animal Crossing always has this like really nice sort of feel when you first start it, or when I first started, and I can't put it down. And then after a while, it just starts getting kind of like a chore to keep up. So then I stop, and then it becomes like an ordeal to like get back in, because then it's like, oh, all my neighbors are gonna miss me, and I don't remember how to live in this town. I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart lately. I never thought I liked Mario Kart so much, because usually I only play with my siblings, and they haven't been around very much, so I haven't played Mario Kart in a long time. And I finally picked it up again, Kart 8 DX, with my friends, and it's like, oh wow, I forgot how much I love this game. I'm really bad at it, but it's like I can still play it. It's not like I'm the thing with, I think Wheeler's the one that made this distinction to me, but it's like a party game, so even if you're like really bad, you could still get items that will bump you forward. You could still win on like luck. Obviously not if you're like super bad and like you just can't drive straight. I don't think you can win if you just like if it's like that. But at least it puts you with like your own skill level folks, so it's like much less punishing. My friend Pepper is very high level, and I played with her tier players once, and it's so interesting because when players are of a higher tier, they do play differently, and I was like, I tend to follow. Okay, first of all, I'm kind of just like, I don't play Mario Kart at all. So like a lot of things, like I didn't realize Baby Park was just 7 circles until like my 10th time playing it. And I was like, wait a minute. And I finally like noticed the number. Stuff like that. And I like spend the whole time just kind of staring at my character's butt instead of like looking where I'm supposed to be going. Okay, no, but this pose means you can't see her like front. Ah. I also don't know where to put her wings. Like that, maybe? Something like that, maybe. Maybe she has an apron on. But yeah, it's like the kind of game where I feel like if I played it more, I could get into it. Like, not get into it, but like get better at it. I've also been playing Splatoon a little bit. When I first bought Splatoon 2, I like touched it and then I put it down. Like, I literally couldn't play it. One reason being I didn't like the controls. I wasn't using the gyroscope, I don't like correctly, I don't think. Don't ask me what that means. But something about the camera controls was like really not working for me. And also I didn't have online. The single player mode is all right, I guess, but a lot of these games I find, I used to be big on like single player games, but lately I find myself playing mostly party games and multiplayer games. But with little help from my friends, actually playing with friends does make it a little more fun. I still don't quite like the normal turf battle. That turf battle is like, whereas Mario Kart, I feel like I could play more and get better, and like even as I am now, I can at least enjoy myself while I suck. Turf War, I'm like, I jump in, I get insta-killed somehow. My friends keep telling me that it's supposed to take like a couple of shots, but I must be like running through ink or getting hit by someone and not knowing it. But it just feels like someone with a gun, not even a bucket, like someone with a gun runs up, splat, and I like poof, is how it feels. So and I can't do the same to them. Like when I'm hitting someone else with my gun or like roller or whatever, I'm like splashing them like crazy, and they don't die. They always get me. I think I must be like missing is what's happening. I don't know. But we tried Salmon Run last Friday, and that was actually pretty fun, I think. Probably because it's more of a teamwork kind of situation where on the one hand it's a little more stressful because if you mess up, you're not just messing yourself up, you're messing your team up. And yeah, I know the turf war is also like that, but it I don't know. It feels less because you don't have to like revive your playmates, and you just like automatically generate back and jump back in. So it feels a lot more like I'm just kind of doing my own thing. But the whole salmon run, like if you get splatted, you turn into this little life preserver, and then like your mates have to come and like resuscitate you. Which is funny. Okay, counter. Chair. I don't know what diners look like. Hold on. skitch pattern on the floor. A little, like, I don't know. They have potted plants up here. Let me look up a diner. Okay, let me try something else for the background. Oops. I'm probably missing, yeah. Hi, Lyra, welcome back. I hope your dinner was good. Dun 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 bum 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 bum. This is another game that I wanted to stream. And then I realized it's like 98% dialogue. You know how much I like dialogue, guys. I love doing voices, but I'm not much good at keeping them up. From character to character, from scene to scene, from line to line. Da 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 da. You turn those two into Jessie J. I'm only slightly high level. Okay, Pepper Bunny is like level 5,000 almost, like 4,000 something. I'm like level 1,000 something. Like I think 1,200 is my highest. And I'm pretty sure as you play, you can also like lose levels, level points. This is Mario Kart, I believe. So yeah, it's like slightly high level for me, I guess. If you gotta be specific. But it's still high level. This is slightly better, I think. Bar chairs. But yeah, speaking of the last stream though, like Majora's Mask is also another game that I've been playing through slowly. I never thought it would come the day that I would play Majora's Mask. I believe at some point I definitely told myself that was the one Zelda game I would never play. Because one, it seemed complicated compared to the Wind Waker I knew, and two, it was scary because of the moon. And the time limit thing also scared me. And then it turns out it's not bad at all. So it is a little difficult for me to figure out where all the mini what are they called? Mini side quests. mini where all the side quests are. So my hope is that I can get through the 3 dungeons first that give you all like the transformation stuff, because then I'll feel like I'm not missing anything for like major travel and such. Because don't tell me how it goes, but I have this like Goron dude in the bomb shop, and I swear if I was just a Goron, he would sell me bombs. Like that's the vibe I get. And so I feel like the bomb that he sells is what I need to get to Lon Lon Ranch. And I feel like Lon Lon Ranch is where I have to go in order to get into the milk bar, because they have cows, I assume. So like all of that just kind of gets stuck because I can't turn into a Goron. I can't even check if that's like the right path because I just can't talk to them. Or I can talk to them, but they won't sell to me. Okay, guys. How do you think about this? Oh boy, is the perspective off, but see, it's bad because I want to show his little legs, but maybe I should just cover it because the table I feel like would, or at least this part. I think this is more accurate. Something like this. Something like that. I still technically haven't beaten Hollow Knight either, because those few things that I still want to do haven't been completed. So yeah, man, there's way too many games, way too little time in the day. And I don't think I'm entertaining enough when playing video games. Or scratch that. If I can be entertaining while drawing pictures, which might just be the most boring thing to watch me do since I noodle so much, then I feel like doing video games I can be entertaining. But I don't think I play video games well enough to like do them on stream. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh no, like it's fun to watch people suffer and like play poor. No, it's not. It's really not. Watch Game Grumps on any game that you've played before, and you'll know it's not. And like I'm the worst kind of video game player where when I get stuck, I just kind of go in circles for like ever trying the same thing. You know what they say about the like doing something over and over again, expecting different results is like the definition of insanity. I am literally insane. I have spent so much time just like doing the same things over and over and over again. Um, Games like Ace Attorney, I feel like could be fun because it's just dialogue, so I can be like silly with that. And I've played it before, so you would think I would get it. All right, but yeah. And I don't know how much I would enjoy struggling with games on stream myself. Like, maybe it'll be entertaining, but man, will I sweat. You get that performance anxiety. Okay, well, let me try to do line art for this. Let me try. Should I do a second sketch, maybe? Let me see if I can do a perspective ruler. Uh-oh. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. It's gonna come really high, wouldn't it? Okay, let's try that anyway. Let's try that regardless. And then table. Table should go here. Okay. And then we have this. We have the counter's way too high. Something like that. Window over here. I don't... Okay, wait, hold on. Perspective ruler, please. Work with me. Oh, I can do up and downs. Cool. Which one's which one? Okay, this one needs to go away because that's the window. All right, window. To the window, to the wall. Maybe this comes out to here because that's the table, right? Okay, maybe I don't want the tables to be straight. I do want these to be straight. Zero to hero. Believe in zero. Oh my goodness, you guys. The moon, it falling. Stab, stab. Let me go higher up. Let me catch up. Rat Rascal says, sorry, I gotta be right back. for a few minutes because I gotta listen to an Excel tutorial. Oh, wow, I love school so much. I'm so sorry, Rat. Strength, Rat Rascal. Wheeler says, but then you were enlightened by me and Pepper. What about Baby Park? Or about something else? Oh, about Majora's Mask. I'm like, I gotta go back into the conversation. Not that far back! Yeah, by Majora's, and like how it's actually pretty straightforward rather than like really convoluted. And the fact that you can just restart the day at any time, it's kind of scary in that like you could lose all your progress, or if you miss one then you have to start over again. But it's kind of in the vein of a lot of those like Super Meat Boy where you fail and then you like get respawned immediately and you like fail again. It's not as immediate, obviously, it's not a platformer, but it had less of that like existential dread of the moon will end the earth if I don't reset time on time kind of thing. It's just another game mechanic. There was a stream, excuse me, where a guy was trying to play Majora's Mask for 24 hours, and after a few he fell asleep while still streaming. The 3 days passed and the chat kept trying to wake him up and the moon had fall. Way too many games, way too little time in the day. That's why I stream so many games. You're an entertaining person already. Gosh. I try to be. Wheeler says, believe in Zero. You can do it. Believe in Zero Infinity. Zero to video game hero. You guys, you don't know what you're saying. It'll be very bad, me playing games on stream. But I have certain games that I want to play, and I need to like get myself into the mindset of doing it. If I were to start playing games on streams, it would most likely be just games that I've played before, so I don't suck so bad. And also, I don't want to get rid of the art streams, so it'll probably be like an addendum. I would be adding a stream day. Not sure if I'm ready for that, but that would be the way I would go about it. Playing games, it may seem silly, but playing games can be tiresome as well. It takes a lot of energy to sit and like play. Okay, let me turn, wait, no, one more, like that, and then that, and then that. I think that's, no, and then that. I can throw this away. Let me see if I can clean any of this up. If you want to see me playing games, occasionally I play games on Wheeler's channel now. Pokemon Master Wheeler started playing party games on Friday nights. So far she's played Among Us, Super Smash Brothers, Splatoon. I think she's played twice. So if you're into Splatoon, and if you're into watching me suck at Splatoon, I tend to jump into those, because I gotta take every opportunity to play Splatoon more often. So if you want to subscribe to Pokemon Master Wheeler's channel, we have fun sometimes. I think next Friday we're gonna play Mario Kart. And, but yeah, games are fun. I like games. do you guys like playing games with other people, even if it's a single player? Like, do you tend to find yourself enjoying games more if someone's watching you play, even for the first time? Or do you like to play casually at your own pace, in your own safety of your own, like, judgmentless solitude? Because I think even as a kid, I've always liked having someone watch me play. Like having friends over. I had a lot of friends. I was kind of lucky in that I had a lot of friends who didn't like to play video games. They would just watch me play. And I couldn't understand that because I'm the kind of person who, if you're playing a video game and I feel like I can do it, also, I would want to take the controller and do it. I can't just like sit there and like twiddle my thumbs and like streams are different. I've watched many Let's Plays and I've watched many streams and it's a little different when it's like a screen. But like when I'm, you know, sitting on a couch with someone and they're just playing a game, I'm just like, give me the controller. Let me play. Why don't you give me a chance? I want to go. This chair looks so bad. I'm so confused where it's supposed to go. Because the perspective line says it should go here. Oh, wait. I think I messed up. No, this is why. Okay, I get it. Okay, I misunderstood my own. This is where the back of the seat should go. That's why it was strange. I hate covering the table, though. I think if I make it a little shorter, no one will tell. No one will know. They're gonna know. How? No, no one will know. How will they know? They're gonna know. They're gonna find out. I don't know how it goes, but I love that TikTok joke of like, no one's gonna know. I've been on TikTok more than I should recently. When I finally got it, I was like, oh no, it's like a time sink. I don't know what's up with that format, but I can just like spend an hour like it's nothing when I open that app. I've been playing this frog game too, where you like breed frogs of different colors, and that's also kind of a time sink because it's like one of those waiting games, right? There's like one of those mobile games where you tap a few things and then it's like cool down uh uh for like 18 hours or whatever. They like start you in, they're sneaky about it though. They start you in nice and short, like 30 minutes. In fact, even 30 minutes is a lot for one of these. Usually I'm used to games like this starting with 5 minutes and then you move on to 10 and then like 20 and then eventually you're up to like a few hours per wait, or like a day or two. This one, I think the cheapest frogs are like 30 minutes to wait, but you can hop the frogs on this pond and it like instantly get rid of the cooldown. Not instantly, but like it's way more than I expected it to. Like a 30-minute, no, like an hour, okay? Like if the frog takes an hour to mature, you can't sell them. Well, you can, but you don't make enough money if they are not mature when you sell them. So if it's like an hour and a half, I could jump around on the pond for like 5-10 minutes and they're instantly matured. This is like, uh-oh. I'm gonna be jumping frogs. That's where all my time's going, apparently. Oh, where's all my time? I guess I'm on TikTok and jumping frogs. Javier says, I still remember your Pokemon Sword Nuzlocke. It was an absolute blast. I'm glad you had fun with that one. I enjoyed it. I think we're going to stream the DLC eventually. I purchased the DLC for the Pokemon Sword Shield. I did Shield. So we will be doing that on the Pokemon Nuzlocke channel. Hope you guys are looking forward to that. Whenever Tails finishes the post-game for the PMD Deluxe. Because I really want to see how the post-game is. Never got that far myself. Wheeler says, I've also done Pokken. And this Friday we do a Mario Kart. Yeah! Watch Wheeler's streams every Friday night. It depends on the game, I suppose, says John. Javier says, it is always fun to listen to people react to certain events. However, it truly depends on the person and the game. John says, I had a lot of friends. Big flex. Did I say that? Javier says, hey, I have a fun idea for your upcoming Mario Kart stream. How about you pick characters based on a silly theme? For example, pick a character with the smallest cart. My sister and I did this all the time and it was a lot of fun. I actually did a little looking into Mario Kart strats. Not that I picked up any, because they like have weird acronyms for them and like they describe how to do them strangely, so I couldn't figure out what they were talking about half the time. But there were a couple of videos that explained character weight classes and how it affects your play. And apparently, well, at least one video said the small weight class, the smallest of the weight class, was called Feather. And I'm just like, that's such a cute small weight class. I've never heard it before. Like a weight called this character is a feather weight class. It's adorable. I had been playing Lemmy, and he is apparently in the featherweight class. So oops. The small characters, I think the thing is they accelerate faster but have a lower overall speed. The heavy characters will accelerate slow but have a higher overall speed. That's what it sounded like. And they say it's best to like pick your character for speed and something else, because handling you can usually play better for, but you can't like press the button harder to make your character go faster. That said, the video also said that they don't play heaviest character. There was some kind of like right before it, there's some kind of advantage to like not using the heaviest. He's like the pro players tend to pick the heaviest. Because I guess whatever the little advantage you get from not picking the heaviest, they also are able to override by just being better at everyone than everyone else. I don't know. I want to play Splatoon. So funny thing, guys, on the Splatoon night on Friday, I think it was this Friday. I think they had like some kind of Splatfest, and I had never done a Splatfest before, so I didn't realize that when you pick your team, you can only play with people on that same team. So my friends Wheeler and Tails, who were streaming that night, picked Treat, but Treat had like this kind of grape jelly purple color, and I liked how the orange looked better. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna pick orange and be on the opposite team. But apparently they won't even let you play with your friends if you're not on the same team. You can't like say I'm gonna play with these friends and they'll always put you against them, because the matchups are always random. So I was just stuck out. I'm like, I can't play with my friends. So then they decided to play Salmon Run. And they're like, Tails and Wheeler are like really high level. So when I jumped in at my level 4, I think. No, I think I was like level 0 because I had never played Salmon Run. I did the tutorial that night. Yeah, it was a blast, and it was also very difficult. And after the stream, Tails told me to play one round at my level, and it was like so much more manageable. But it didn't seem ridiculous. I think my friends are just very good at the game because they definitely pulled us through. We didn't win every time. But it didn't suck. It didn't feel like, wow, this is impossible to play. I was like, I felt like I was contributing here and there. I was picking up some plays. Thing I don't enjoy about Salmon Run, though, is you can't pick your weapon. And I don't know any of the weapons in the game. So whenever I get a new weapon, I'm just kind of like, blah! In a way, it's nice because I don't know any of the weapons. It's like a way for me to get thrown in and practice with them. Wheeler says, you were powerful. Thank you, Wheeler. That means a lot, for real. I don't say that I'm bad at video games to put myself down or to make people praise me. It's just kind of a thing, like a fact, because I will say that I am good at video games when I am actually good at video games. I am so good at Banjo-Kazooie. Like, you put me down on Banjo-Kazooie, I will shoot through that game. And this one time I played through Wario Mountain on Mario Kart, and I killed it. Man, I killed it. I like came in first. Didn't jump off any cliffs. I did my what are they called? Drifts. Absolutely perfectly. Executed perfectly. I'm going to not be dumb and just do this in one single stroke. Why am I doing, like, this huge background piece for freaking Volbeat and Illumise? I gotta tell you, I did not like Volbeat at all, but, like, that stupid face of his is growing on me. Those tiny little eyes. That worried little mouth, that dumpy little nose. So, guys, reading's fun, and I don't know if I talked about this last time or at all on stream, but I finally got around to reading the Moomin Valley book that I bought a year ago? A few months ago, at least. And it's really fun. I can't tell if it's a good book. I think it's a good book because I liked it. Like, I don't even know if I liked it. It was entertaining. It was unique. It's also translated, so that might be part of the strangeness of the writing style. But I liked it enough that I wanted to get another one. So I went on Amazon, and the second book of the Moomin, and to be clear, this isn't the comic books. These are like the original short story novellas. I don't know what to call like a really short novel. The cover looked like a different art style than the one I had. It was like a single color with some simple line work on it, not like this fun watercolor beautiful cover on the book that I have. So I went to look on the official, I think it's the official Moomin website for their merch and stuff. And yeah, they have a different cover for the books than they have on Amazon. Unfortunately, the books are, well, the website, the Moomin Company or whatever, they're in Finland, and shipping is expensive, so I'm not gonna be reading any more Moomin books. I don't think I will be doing that. Regardless, I have other things to read. Any good series you've been watching up lately? And John says it's a novella. But novella sounds so, like, fancy. Oh, I missed a question earlier too, asking what my favorite like Nuz series is. But I will answer Javier's question first. In terms of like series, I have just finished rewatching Madoka Magica with my friends. Um, Tailzimp is like a huge Madoka Magica fan. I had seen it before, but wasn't sure if I liked it the first time. So I wanted to watch it again. And then Salt and Pepper Bunny, who had never seen it before. It's always fun when you're watching a show that you've seen before, like a rewatch, to have someone there that hasn't seen it. You get like a fresh perspective. Almost like you can relive your own experience, your own first time, if it's like a similar, and if not, then like seeing how different people react differently. So it was a good time. Um, as much as watching Madoka can be a good time, it's just some traumatized kids. No worries. That's a pretty good show, I guess. My first time watching, I definitely had some like hang-ups. On like art design or art direction rather, and characters and whatnot. But the second time around, I didn't have as many of these problems. And certainly having a big fan walk me through how she sees certain aspects of it differently, and like from a with a more understanding of like mental health and certainly being older, I feel, and also Tails being like really into magical girl genre, was able to pick out more stuff as well to point out from that angle and aspect that I wouldn't be able to, because my experience with magical girl shows doesn't even include Sailor Moon, which like everyone at least knows is a magical girl show. I never watched Sailor Moon. I watched a little bit of what did I watch? Did I watch any magical girl shows? I must have. Because I know I definitely read some of Tsubasa. I never read any Cardcaptor Sakura, but I've read Tsubasa pretty far. I watched... Sorry, I keep saying watch. I read a bit of Tokyo Mew Mew. I can't tell you anything about it because I don't remember, but I did read some of that. Have I seen any magical girl shows? Let me think. I feel like I have. Tails, if you're listening, can you list off some magical girl shows? Maybe from the 90s that I might have been exposed to? But yeah, see, even if I have seen any, I can't think of them. I just know tropes and things that apparently are ubiquitous from just my career of watching anime analysis videos. You know what? Princess Tutu. I watched Princess Tutu. I'm gonna consider it a magical girl show. I don't know if anyone else does, but I'm going to. Just to say that I've seen one. So I have not seen Cardcaptor Sakura. I've read like maybe 1 or 2 volumes of it. I haven't seen any of the Pretty Cures. I haven't seen any Magical Girl Do Re Mi as a kid. I did see like a few episodes this year. I have not seen any Power Rangers, even though I used to play Power Rangers with my friends as a kid. I have seen more recently I've seen Miraculous Ladybug, and I would say that similar to Magical Girl show. It shares tropes and stuff from Magical Girl anime as well as superheroes. So even though it's French, I will say it's a Magical Girl show. But unfortunately, I don't know if that counts because I've watched it really recently. So it wouldn't have factored into my original understanding of Madoka Magica when I saw it first, because I didn't have that. Miraculous Ladybug is a really fun show. It's the kind of kids show like Bluey that gives you a lot as an older fan, even though it is like very clearly made for kids. There have been some episodes of Bluey, as I watched them, I'm like, this episode is for the parents. One of the episodes this season is called Burger Shop, and it's like the characters are in a bathtub playing as pretend like they're running a burger shop, and the mom tells the dad, like, okay, gotta take the kids out of the bath, okay? And the dad's like, oh, I just read this book that says to teach kids to be responsible, you should let them make their decisions. And these kids are like, I think Bluey's like 6 and her sister is 3. So I think it's a little early for that. But the dad's like trying to like convince them to come out on their own, like to decide to come out. And the kids are like, they keep playing, you know, he's saying like, oh no, I'm full, I don't want any more burgers. I ran out of money. It's an Australian show, so they call them dollar bucks. It's like, I don't have any more dollar bucks. It's really fun. The kids are like getting cold, you know, like it's so relatable because I've definitely been in the bath and not wanting to come out. Because coming out would be cold, but then the water starts to get cold, so it's like a no-win situation. But yeah, like the whole episode I was just kind of thinking, like watching it as if the dad was the main character, which is fun because you can just, when I took a step back, I could tell that if I was a kid, I would probably be watching the kids as the main character and paying more attention to their thought processes and relaying there, and it's really fun. Miraculous Ladybug is a little less obvious with that, because it is for older kids, I think, but still quite young kids. It still like provides so much to talk about with its characters. I'm like low-key still waiting for the Chloe redemption. Like, Chloe is a mess. I think even the official site says she's like a lost cause, but when she's nice, sorry, she's never nice, but when she's like behaved, you get these like small instances where she's just so sad and I just want her to get better. But it's fun because I don't just pity Chloe. That's certainly an element of it. But I see her and how she acts. And I like to think of how, and you get to see this in the show sometimes. It's just like how incredibly powerful she would be if she channeled that manic energy into good things and not like selfish. But yeah. I don't think I've watched anything else though. Let me think. Less recently, but still kind of technically recently, I did finish Demon Slayer. And after finishing Demon Slayer, we kind of dropped off of watching anime. Or I did with that friend. So hopefully we can pick up again with something. I don't know if Hades Town counts. I didn't really watch it, but like I listened to the soundtrack today. It was like I watched a movie. Watched Coraline on Halloween. That was fun. Not for the first time. I had seen it before, but the last time I saw Coraline, I actually came out of the movie not liking it. I remember liking it the first time I watched Coraline. I was fixated on Other Wybie. Other Wybie is adorable, and I love how he like is just really kind of sad and but he's sad in a way that it's like you get Coraline sympathizing with him. And I like when characters sympathize with a character. It's not just me. It's like Coraline goes, "Oh no, Wybie." And I think that's what made it hit so hard. But I know book purists really don't like Wybie. That wasn't my issue. My issue when I last saw Coraline was I was shocked. And I remembered it being so good. And then I watched it and I was like, what? This story is so bullet point. It's such a bullet point story. Where she like goes from one place to another. They tell her get 1, 2, 3. She goes back to the places. She gets the 1, 2, 3. I think 2 out of the 3 of them are like handed to her by another character, which like originally I was like, oh, I would that's like Coraline, no agency, whatever, blah blah blah. Like, but I think now I see it more like she gets help. Like, she's not a perfect person. She's just a little girl, and it's okay if she gets help from like another kid or like a cat or something. Not everything has to be read as depowering the character. Like, it's still emotionally satisfying for me at the end, so I don't, it doesn't bother me anymore. This second watch through, I definitely enjoyed. I was worried going in. I was like, Coraline, I remember that I used to like that movie, and then the last time I watched it, I didn't like it anymore. And then I was glad that that wasn't the case. Magical Girl Sally. This is a trick question. None of us were when this show came out around the 60s. Oh my goodness. Javier says, a Miraculous Ladybug is a combination of my two favorite things, superhero action and silly teenage love squares. Oh man, Javier, you like the love squares? Okay, so funny story about Miraculous Ladybug, right? I actually had a client at a certain point who asked me to do comic pages, comic book style pages for her book. She wrote a book, I think it was called Sky. I know the main character is called Sky, so I feel like that was what the book was called too. But it's basically like a comic book character finds out that he's a comic book character, comes to the real world to take revenge on his creator for ruining his life. Because his, like, girlfriend dies, his friend gets, like, mind controlled and he has to, like, kill him or whatever. I don't know. Something. His creator's, like, one of those, kind of makes your story grimdark for no reason kind of creators. And he, like, escapes his comic book, to take revenge. And she wanted comic book excerpts of his past, I guess, in the book itself. Such a fun idea. And she actually gave me Miraculous Ladybug as homework, and I tried to watch it. I simply used the promotional material in the end as my reference point. But I wish I had actually watched it, because I feel like I could have done better on the project if I had, rather than just looking at the character designs on by themselves. Hindsight and all that. But when about this year, when my friend had me when Tails, I think, this year, was it this year or was it last year? I don't even remember. But Tails got me to watch it, because we did this whole movie night thing where we would each choose a TV show and everyone would watch it together. And she picked Miraculous Ladybug. And my first thought was, oh wow, I hate how Marinette interacts with Adrian. And Tails is just like, that's the whole show! I'm so glad I stuck on, because it ended up being very fun, and it doesn't bother me as much as... I don't know if it's that it doesn't bother me as much as it used to. I give up. I'm gonna use a tool. I don't know if it's that it doesn't bother me as much as it used to, or if it's just Ladybug does it better. But it weren't too bad, I suppose. I am currently doing a second watch through of the series, because another one of our friends somehow, Pepper, if you're still around, do you know how Kadu got into Miraculous Ladybug? Like, why in the world did she pick it up? I don't remember what the story is there. But she's been rewatching it. I've been meaning to rewatch it. So we've been rewatching it with her, and it's been actually pretty fun. Osmosis. Was it just we like talked about it so much that she's like, okay, I'm gonna check this out. Did I say it was slow? I didn't say it was slow. Did I? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, let me catch up. Basically every single comic ever ends up like that. Season 1 is kind of slow, but things get really interesting season 2 onward. And then Pepper's like, how is it slow? It's funny how much that's in like season 1 that I thought was in season 2, or that is that I expected to be in season 1 and is not. Oh wait, no. What am I doing? Silly me. I need to put the backrest first. I do plan to eventually watch a Moomin property. That new 3D animated one seems quite charming. The original anime seems fun. Trying to get into Moomin from the beginning is like trying to get into Peanuts from the beginning. It's like, do I even bother? But experiencing it from the beginning has been quite nice. Maybe I should just have this here. Yes. Erase. Sad song. On the road to hell is a railroad track. Let's see. Javier says, I don't know. I wasn't really much of a fan of season 1. I began watching it during season 2, and that's the one that engaged me the most. Pepper says, fair enough. The writing quality does jump up somewhat in season 2. John says, my internet has been lagging all night and been cutting off the stream, so I think I'll call it here. Thanks for the stream. Zero, good night. Good night, John. Thanks for coming. Javier says, and season 3 is complicated. It has some really good episodes and some really bad episodes. Can't think of any season 3 episodes I heavily dislike, says Pepper. There are more season 2 episodes that I think are poor. Interesting. Fight, fight, fight. Season 3 had some, like, wacky episodes, right? Was season 3 the one where they, like, shake up a lot of stuff? Like, where, Marinette and Adrian get, amnesia, I think, and, like, think they're going out because they're obsessed with each other? Salt Pepper Bunny says the amnesia episode is amazing. Javier says insert Civil War meme here. Trying to think what episode my favorite would be. Do you guys have a favorite episode, just like off the top of your head? What would you consider? Pepper Bunny says my favorite episode is Prime Queen. Javier says my favorite is Capwonk. Tail says IDKY, but the style for these two make me feel like they come from wherever Luella lived. They're very potato, aren't they? Oopsies. Yeah, I like that. They're from whatever universe Luella's from. Javier says, if anyone dislikes the Amnesiac episode, they no longer my friends. Which is odd, given that as an Amnesia episode, they are either good or terrible. Are you saying, like, specifically the Ladybug Amnesia episode, or, like, in general? If people don't like any Amnesia episode. In general. Oh, okay. Interesting. Have we had a body swap episode yet? And if not, why is that not in the on the bingo card? These two are very potato. That's an excellent question, Zero. Javier, do you want in on our bingo card is the question also. As a fellow Miraculous fan, are you looking forward to new Miraculous content, and do you want to A, contribute or simply enjoy our bingo card? Because I can provide that for you if you would like. We basically made a bingo card, me and Salt and Pepper Bunny. I don't know why I said it that weird. For like future Miraculous content. What we have, I don't know if this is mine or Pepper's, but it's basically things that could happen in the future, possibly. So we have things like Love Square Flip, where I imagine that means that Ladybug falls in love with Cat Noir, who falls in love with Marinette, and Adrian just wants to be friends with Ladybug. I don't know the details, but apparently Love Square Flip is a thing. We have like a couple of redemptions. We have a Mayura redemption. We have a Chloe redemption 2.0. We get things like Felix getting a Kwame, maybe like stealing a ring or something. I really want to see a Bunnix origin story. Yeah, a lot of these aren't so much like predictions. They're not predictions. They're just, this show could throw anything at us. So, just make up things. We just made up things, tossed them on a bingo card. I really wish I had just used a generator so I could generate a whole bunch of these. But I can rearrange them for you. We've already gotten one of our bingo slots technically checked from the New York special. If you've seen that, Javier. Happy is here. Says, wait, what rings? Well, you know, Cat Noir has like the Cat Noir ring. Unless you're talking about wait. Were those no oh well, whatever. The rings being Gabriel and whatever his wife's name is. Elise? They're rings. Also, hi Happy. Thanks for joining the stream. Emily. Emily? Is that how you pronounce that? Lila, Hawkmoth, Mayura Redemption, Alpha Timely, Cat Blanc, and Adrian Sentimonster. Oh yeah, Proto Adrian's still one of them. Yes, but then like they got it back, I think. So I guess it wasn't important then. But Maybe he'll come back. And before you ask me why there's a Winnie the Pooh song on my game playlist, it's from Kingdom Hearts. Can't wait for season 4 once they are done with all the other side projects for the next decade. Happy says, I've been here for a while, I just don't talk. Oh, it's good to have you, even when you don't talk. If you do talk, I'd like to say hi. But thanks so much for hanging out with us. And that goes to anyone else out there who's just tuning in. Love having you. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. Hope y'all are having a good night. I still can't think of a favorite episode. I mean, as a Chloe Redemptionist fan, I guess whichever one that was where, she, like... Oh, shoot. Now I can't tell if it's, like, the one where, she has that Chloe cam where she like has a TV show with herself. Is that Queen Bee? If that's Queen Bee, I think Pepper already chose that, and I don't want to choose the same one because I'm like a hipster like that. Cat Blanc should have been the season 3 finale. Instead, the actual season 3 finale. Instead of... I'm also partial to Sandboy and Reflect Doll. Cat Blanc should have been a 2-parter. Oh, man. Can you imagine it, like, ends the first part with her, like, going in and the world is, like, turned upside down? Like, destroyed. All of Paris. Destroyed. And it just ends there. Pepper says, I literally still to this day cannot believe that Cat Blanc is a real episode. Cat Blanc. Cat Blanc. Carte de Blanc. Oh no, I messed up here. Okay, how about this then? Favorite character? Besides Marinette or Cat Noir or Adrian or Ladybug, like favorite side character. And that much as I want a Chloe redemption arc, I definitely say she's not my favorite character. Favorite superhero maybe? I don't know. I quite like the monkey superhero, but I don't like Kim as much. Jagged Stone is cool. As terrible as he is, I kind of really like Hawkmoth. He's funny. He's a good villain. Don't know about favorite though. Tiki's great too, but I don't know if she counts as Ladybug adjacent too much. Ollie is great. I like Alex, but she's hardly in it. Alex is the most favorite character energy to me, but she hasn't done anything. Alia was so close to being like a least favorite character. I'm usually very not fond of the character that's like always trying to snoop and find out the main character's secret identities or whatever. But thankfully she drops that. Mr. Pigeon is a good episode. Javier says, I like Mr. Pigeon unironically. The one with the possessed teddy bear is good. Oh, I like the possessed teddy bear one. Okay, that one's my favorite. Despair Bear. Gigantitan for the Hawkmoth scenes. Gigantitan! That one was fun too. But yeah, Despair Bear is great. I love the Butler character. Okay, Butler character is my favorite character. Jean, whatever his name is. Okay, let's see what these spots look like. What time is it? Oh, it's time to end the stream. Perfect timing, because I just finished... Oh, just kidding. I'm like, I just finished the line art, but no, I didn't. But I don't want to go over too long today. Because we haven't watched Pokemon in a long time, and I kind of want to watch Pokemon anime if my friends are down. But I do want to get at least the line art done. So just bear with me. And this is why I love reading the Dex entries. I don't think I ever would have thought of this as the theme for this family if I hadn't read that they were based on greasers and flappers. I don't think I ever picked up on that design element. But for some reason it made me think of a little silver diner. Let me just get her eyes in. Let me turn it back around and get the eyes. Okay, what does her eyes look like? I don't like her eyes. Her eyes are very difficult. Whatever. I think that's... Okay. And there we go. Line art done. Should I have the wings transparent? Oh no, I didn't do Volbeat's wings. Okay, let's put Volbeat's wings in. Yeah. anything else I can add to Illumise? Is her back really just completely blank? Yep, it sure is. Alright, well, that means it's done? Yeah, I guess all I have to do now is add in color next time. Maybe we'll finish it next time. Or we can do something else. We'll see. I don't really have much planned for streams this month. We might just do Pokemon Families the whole month, or I might think of something else to do. If I get some fun requests, I might do those. We'll see. We'll see. And like I said, I might decide to do Banjo-Tooie earlier, starting this month, just so I don't run out of time to finish the game. But as it is now, I'm afraid we don't have time for a final drawing. So I'm just gonna do a little Audino doodle. And that's it for tonight, folks. And I want to say thank you all for hanging out with me, making sure that I get something done this week. And having a lovely time talking with you. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. Adore Mr. Mime, that's a really good one. For some reason I read The Mime as Mr. Mime. I'm so glad we found out that Javier likes Miraculous Ladybug as much as we do, it seems. But yeah, thanks so much guys for chatting with us. And until next stream, I hope you guys stay safe, stay sane, and keep your noses clean. Have a good one. I'll catch you all next week. Bye-bye!